All right, this is John Krysinsky, Pittsburgh Soccer Now. Welcome back to the Pittsburgh Soccer Now YouTube channel, simulcast here, sounding off on soccer. We are gearing up. I'm glad to be back. I have sort of been on a bit of a hiatus when it comes to some of our additional content, including digital media, our YouTube channel, sharing some bits from here, as well as our Sounding Off on Soccer podcast. But we are back. It is a summer of soccer, that is for sure, here in Pittsburgh, PA, here in the United States of America. We've got Copa America going on. We got so much great stuff going on. Obviously, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds are struggling. This week coming up, Saturday night, they will have played their fourth, I believe, their fourth 5 matches in June on the road. And what a better place to go on the road. Maybe it is a great place to go, for a weekend getaway is Las Vegas. But for soccer teams struggling to score goals, the Riverhounds are heading to Las Vegas this weekend. But they will take on none other than Las Vegas Lights with some really interesting Pittsburgh connections. The first one, of course, is Jose Bautista had purchased the team, the Las Vegas Lights, this past winter, and has brought in a whole new outfit. They've had to start from scratch, and they've been rebuilding their roster. And things didn't really start off great this season for them, but they've been hanging around, and I don't think they've lost a match in about 5 matches. So they're in pretty decent form. And their leading scorer, as the other Pittsburgh connection, is none other than Valentin Noel. You all know him if you're from the Pittsburgh area, you follow soccer. Valentin is the fantastic French native who has really helped elevate, one of those talented players who helped elevate Pitt men's soccer program in recent years. Just done a lot of great things at Pitt and helped lead the Panthers to 2 college cups. He was among the leaders in scoring goals in the country during his time. He's earned all ACC first team honors, all ACC second team honors. Was the ACC Offensive Player of the Year in 2020. The finalist for the prestigious Mac Herman Trophy Award, and recorded 11 goals and 3 assists in his senior year, which that 2022 season, the Panthers made it back to the College Cup. And Val, has had some big moments as a player in Pittsburgh. And we are grateful for that because, the Pittsburgh soccer fans have seen the Pitt program grow. And one of those guys that was there at the forefront was definitely Val Noel. But he got the call, super draft selection with the Las Vegas Lights, and went on to play with, super draft selection for the Austin FC and MLS. And most of 2023, he spent playing for the Austin's FC2 as their MLS Next Pro club. But he did really well there and scored a number of goals, had a good season, and they were the top team in MLS Next Pro last year. So their first season, the Austin FC2. And he was also one of the first players to get the call up as well to Austin FC. The main team in MLS, and did make an appearance. So he had an opportunity to get some really good experiences last year. But this year, his contract was transferred to, in a transfer deal, over to Las Vegas because they were rebuilding everything from scratch, and they needed someone who has shown already that he can score at this level. And jumped right in, and he scored, I believe, 7 goals. So I'm looking forward to, very shortly, we're going to catch up with Valentin and get him on here for an interview. So that definitely looking forward to that. And you'll see our feature on Pittsburgh Soccer Now ahead of the Riverhounds match against Las Vegas on Saturday night, 10:30, and the Hound 10:30 Eastern time. So it will definitely be a red-eye flight back for the Riverhounds. So Valentin Noel, looking forward to having him on this feed very shortly. All right, we are with Valentin Noel. Valentin, great to see you again. I was just remarking to you that I think the last time I saw you was I was just so glad to get inside because it was 2022. You guys had made it to the Final Four again, and there was a post-match press conference, and yeah, I think it was you and Jay Vidovich and some of your teammates, and I had a chance to interview you after that. It seems like
Right.
that's like so long ago, doesn't it?
It does. It does. It does. I wish I could go back to that time, but it was a fun memory for sure. One of my probably the best one of my college career. Just like this last game, full crowd, just a ticket to the Final Four again. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, and we here in Pittsburgh, I've been covering and been around the scene for a long time, but really been covering the Pitt Panthers probably going back to a good decade or so on a regular basis. And when you got here in 2019, Jay had already been here for a few years, but you and the group that you came in with, you really helped elevate the program and get the program to another level. But what was that like? Just that experience. Now looking back a few years later, just how it's not easy to do because you can see that Pitt's, has had an okay season last year, but it's hard. It's hard to do that every year, isn't it?
True, 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 true. I think when we just arrived, I remember, arriving with Arturo, arriving with Velko Petkovic, Filip Mirkovic, and then the year after there's Bertin coming and Crivelo, Rafa, like many of those guys that helped the program improve. I think when we first arrived, and I think it comes down to the mindset that we had. We were just clueless about how things work in America and that whole college thing, and how things work and how games are played. We were just here to play soccer in the best of our ability, and and I think we were just a bunch of guys that became friends and that enjoy playing together. And then obviously under Jay and his staff, you know, we had that knowledge, and it was just follow the path, stay on track, and good things will happen, and it did.
And one of the things that when you came to Pitt, you mentioned, I've seen you mention it before too, that it was your dream to play professional soccer. A lot of the players that go through the program are wanting to get to those heights as well. But by being at Pitt, how did that help prepare you for what you were eventually do after getting drafted and being with Austin and now Las Vegas?
Well, I'm sure I think Pitt being in the ACC conference provide a lot of coverage. I think a lot of people were watching the games. By having success with the team, people are start looking, okay, who's playing for this team and who's doing good, and that's how you try to build uh, um, like a name basically, and that's what I try to do for those years, and it definitely helped me um, for next step in my career.
And of course, the experiences of playing in like high level pressure games, things of that nature, in that what you went through both in the ACC and the NCAA tournament too. I'm sure that helps a lot too.
For sure. When you cross the barrier between college and the pros, I think it comes back also to, as I said, to Jay's stuff. It's just like college and my time at Pitt made me ready. It helped me to become, off the field, a better human being, but also a better soccer player. And maybe at the time where I thought I wasn't ready, leaving Pitt made me realize that I was ready. And it's just by the help of teammates and the help of Jay and his staff. It's just the training sessions that we were doing, for instance, just like you know a year after I'm doing with Austin FC the same drill. I'm like, oh wait, I've done that with Jay, and it's just like it helps you. It just makes you feel more comfortable, and you just start having a little bit of uh of advance compared to others. They're new to the drill and they don't know what the hell is going on. And me, I'm just like, okay, now I know already, and it's just like you feel more ready, and yeah, that's for sure. That was for sure the point.
And a lot of the guys that you went to battle with at Pitt now are spread out around the the professional ranks here in the United States, and it's really great to see that. And some guys got a head start on you. Jasper and Kiza and some of those other guys were kind of out there already. But now, like you and Jackson went to Austin together, and of course Arturo's having success, and it's just been really interesting. I think there was a photo of you and Arturo exchanging jerseys and that kind of thing. What's that camaraderie like now that you guys are out of college and a number of you are out in the pros?
Well, I think it'll last forever. Like, you know, we played together, like we share a part of life together. We had like memorable memories. And that'll take us, throughout all those years. And I'm sure, in 20 years, like we'll still be in touch. And it's just fun now to just, everybody's having his own little path. And when we cross each other's path again, it's just always fun to catch up and to speak and to just reach out and exchange jersey, etc. I think it's precious. It's just you just don't want to forget those times, those good old times, and you keep building on it. It's cool.
And have you had any contact with Jackson or Edward this week? I'm thinking Jackson, especially. You guys have been pretty close over.
For sure, for sure, for sure. No, we made in Austin, so no. I think he's landing tomorrow. It's not. I think he's landing tomorrow. No, I'll pick him up. I have a car, so we'll hang out. We'll chat for sure, and have a good time. But for sure, be ready to play, and I'm sorry, but I want to win the rebounds.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I mean, you two have been teammates for 5 years, so now it's the first time you'll
Right.
face each other.
It's actually first, right? Now
Yeah.
we spoke about it. Yeah. Now we play a lot of time together, so now it'd be interesting.
Mhm. Well, okay, so now you're, the beginning of this year, there's the deal, and you end up going from Austin to Las Vegas, and Las Vegas is a franchise that, kind of blew everything up in the off season. There was like no, they kind of started from scratch. So I think I would imagine you
Right.
had to look at that as just an opportunity for you to shine and to have a chance to really show what you can do at the USL championship level.
Right. Like I like to be the underdog. Um, I like to take that cap, a little bit. I think it was the same thing with Pitt, where they were building a program that was struggling the years before. There was a project. There was this change of facilities and everything. Like they were putting effort into trying to build a good team and having a good coach and having those things. And we made it. And it feels a little. I wouldn't say it's similar, but that's kind of like the same idea with the lights, where we start from scratch, like literally. Like this club was like just hit rock bottom basically, and we're building from it. There's a total new board of directors, new staff. Like I think there's only one guy that was here last year, and it's an academy player. The rest, I don't know about, in the offices or something, but the rest is everybody's new. So I was in the situation in Austin where I was a little stuck in my situation, like still struggling with this international spot, green card issue, blah, blah, blah. I was doing the right thing, performing, but that kind of like blocked the road for me. So I had to find another option. And basically the assistant coach that was with Austin FC2, where we won the league, the MLS Next Pro Cup, got the head coach job at the Lights, and try to brought me with him. And so I saw the opportunity of having a coach, that trusts me, that knows me, and yeah, total new club. Being able to just try to showcase myself, help the team, and help like the club, go back, because I think there's a lot of there's a lot of ambitions, and I forgot the word I want to use, but I don't want to come out. Whatever. But there's a lot of the club can get to a space that I want to help and make the playoff. Like they haven't made the playoff, I think, once.
Right.
And I also want to bring back the fans, because right now we don't have fans. They don't come to the stadium. Whereas like compared to a few years ago, the stadium was packed. So it's just those challenges and those objectives that that made the move exciting. Another coach, new players, new board directors, anything new. They have a project, so just go there and try to ball out, basically.
And you've found the back of the net. I think 7 goals now, and you've always had this sort of knack of being in the right place, the right time, when you're making runs and things like that. This is something like Bob Lilly preaches a lot with the Riverhounds and his forwards is getting on the end, getting behind defenders, knowing where to be. Is that something that is that just something that it's hard to be taught? You just did the experience is playing all those years back home in France and, developing as a player. And then, as your body matured in the college ranks, just continuing to be able to, utilize those skills that you have.
It may sound surprising, but in France, I used to play right back.
Really?
I was a right back. In France, I was a right back.
So was this the
I'm sorry?
Jovich telling you, you know what, I think you can play up top, play in an attacking midfield role, or where did that come?
So basically, my whole academy time with my club in France, I used to play six. I was a defensive midfielder, and towards the end, even U17, I played some couple times center back. But I just always had like a little. I was like using my vision. Coach liked me for my vision and understanding the game, stuff like that. But towards my last year, yeah, I was playing right back. One of my coach there for the professional team, like the second division in France, he said, because I was training with them all the time, he said, if you want to make it with us, it's gonna be right back. So if you want to sign a professional contract, be right back. And that's how I knew. Yeah, for sure, dude. that won't happen. Because in my head, I didn't think I was a right back. I always thought I was a midfielder.
Mm-hmm.
But then I went to Pitt, and Jay right away kind of put me into this box to box type of midfielder.
Mm-hmm.
In this first year, which I enjoy a lot because I had the capacity to run, and do both attack and defend. But it's really towards the end of my freshman year.
Right.
Whenever Kiza left the program and Jay decided to put me up there as a false nine. Like I remember one conversation with him is like we were talking about tactics, etc., blah blah, and me, I had the idea. I was just like, like, I could play there, and he's like, you're gonna play there. I was like, you're kidding? Like, there's no way. Like I'm that night. I was joking. It's like, no, I could really see you there. Like I could really see you playing false nine, and that's how it started. And I just believe that he saw something in me, from this first year playing, as an eight or whatever. My understanding of the game. I don't know, the way I do things, the way I play. He just saw that, and for some reason, also, I'm sure, like with the help of Bertin on the right, playing winger, with speed. Alexander Dexter playing on the left as well with speed. I think it just matched. Like the coordination of the team, like it was fluid,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it's just
Well, looks like we might have lost Val, so hopefully we'll get him back here. But that was a fascinating to hear him talk about that how he evolved as a scorer at Pitt. But I think we're working to get Val back on here. All right, sorry about that.
Can you
I
and pull me cut? I was like, it worked, and I think the basically the that sense that you were mentioning, I just discovered it. Like I don't think you can explain it. Uh, I just I try to hit the box and do the right run, like always in the order of like trying to do the right thing, like according to the position of my teammate. What kind of run would make me the best in the best situation to score, or create space for somebody else. Like that's just my mindset, and yeah, so far it seems to work. So I just try to keep doing it.
So talk about the team right now. You guys, I don't think you've lost in 5 or 6 matches. In terms of a lot of ties, a lot of like tight battles. But and you're finding yourself into scoring opportunities and things of that nature. But just talk about how this team has evolved since the beginning of the season. I think you took some lumps early, but it seems like you've gotten a little bit better with each match.
Right. We missed the preseason together. You
Yeah.
know, we were we I signed there, and the first day I arrived was probably a Tuesday, and I was playing the Saturday without having a single clue of like who was playing in the team. So it was a little, you know, special. So I think it took us a little bit of time to just understand each other, understand what the coach wanted us to do and how to play, and our principle. Um, we had a good stretch of game. The first games, like we were like, oh, okay, like we're doing good. We were like 3 wins in a row, like 3 clean sheets and stuff like that. And then we had like a really low time where we considered rough loss against Charleston. We got like a few games, a few losses in a row. Now we became a little more solid in terms of like not losing. We like 8 games without losing, or no, we lost once in 8 games, I think.
Yeah, the
Only
Tampa,
once
right.
in 8 games, but yeah. But the only issue right now is just trying to find more time, more often in the back of the net to score more times than the opponent. Um, because yeah, there's a lot of games out there that we left on the table. Like if you rewatch, it's frustrating. Like it is very frustrating because we put a lot of effort out there, and we dominate. We have more shots, more expected goals. We deserve to win. I can recall like 3 games that 3, 4 games that we should have won, but we tied. So that makes us where we are in the league right now. I think 10.
So what do you expect in this matchup? The Riverhounds have been struggling to score goals, but it's still Bob Lilly coach team. It's still going to be a team that's going to be tough to solve, but it should be a great match. What do you expect? I know you've had some scrimmages and against playing against the Riverhounds at different times, but now playing with the stakes a lot real and against a few former teammates. So what do you expect in this matchup on Saturday?
Well, I think we started them this week, and uh, and knowing a little bit the Riverhounds, being to Martin, watch a couple games, like well, more than a couple, but I think there was always a team that's not tough to play against. Um, just this Saturday, obviously, if you look at the table, there's 2 teams that are struggling. I don't think the Riverhounds are in where they should be in terms of, when you look at their stats and their game, like they should have scored more. They should have, got more points, but it's reality. It's the reality of the game. But no, always gonna be always gonna be a tough matchup against against the Riverhounds. They're solid defense. For us, it's gonna be just try to keep building on our past performances and try to find the back of the net. Try to try to break that defense. Obviously, right now we won't. It's not gonna be a great field right now. It's pretty hot out there, and the grass is quite burned. So we don't have the best grass in the USL, but yeah, I think it'll be a good match, and for sure, happy to play against all teammates.
Well, and again, the atmosphere in Vegas, what is it like to play home games at Vegas? What is that atmosphere like there?
I think it could be awesome. Like I really truly like the new ownership built like new stands, which makes it like really more like a professional stadium. Obviously, it's from a baseball field, but if they could take care of the grass plus those stands and fans, that could be awesome. Like that, I traveled around. Tampa Bay is a great one. Let me think. But otherwise, like we could be a good one. Unfortunately, with the reputation of the previous ownership and how bad the team were doing the previous years, etc. Like people stopped coming. So that I would just tell them like it's everything new. It's a new team. Just come. Just please come to the game and come support us. Because if we have fans, like it could look very decent and really enjoyable. Unfortunately, right now it's really hot. Like we play games like 100 degrees. Like even this Saturday, I hope the Pittsburgh people are ready because it won't be a rainy 70. It will be a hot 100. So yeah, so I'm sure all those factors plays into kind of like how it feels to play out there. But I think it could be a really fun place to play.
And I could see why it's better to kick off as late as possible in the desert, at night, just get that sun down. For sure. Have you had a chance to meet the primary investor and owner, Jose Bautista? I mean, I know he's been kind of behind the clubs, and
Yeah,
I don't know if you know, but he was a former Pittsburgh Pirates baseball player.
Oh no, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we met him. He's been involved. When we went to Tampa, he took us to dinner. Like he's there, not every game, but no, he's involved and trying to change things around for sure.
That's great. Yeah, it just happens to be he was got his start in baseball with the
Next
Pirates.
time I see him, I gotta tell him.
Yeah, he's with the Pirates. So you guys
Like, what did you leave the best team of all time?
and of course
The best place of all time.
he played with the Blue Jays. He hit a lot of home runs with. So, but well, that's great. Well, it's great to see you doing well, and I think we're looking forward to this matchup on Saturday night. And the only thing that's unfortunate is that we don't get to see you at Highmark Stadium, but hopefully maybe next year or somewhere else down the road we'll get to see.
Yeah, yeah, that's the first thing I actually checked in the calendar was when do we play the Rebounds, and I wasn't aware that with the other conference we only play with them once, and and this time they come to Vegas, but maybe in the playoff, who knows?
Maybe, you never know. That would be quite a final. We would love to see that for sure.
Yeah.
But well, Val, it's great to connect with you again and see you, and we'll look forward to the match on Saturday. And keep it up. Keep doing all the great stuff. You're making a lot of Pitt people very proud.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time.
All right, thanks. Have a good night.